At the airport, I was told my ticket had been canceled. That night, my mom texted, "You're always the extra piece. Get used to it." I replied, "Don't worry. Something extra is waiting when you get home." When they returned, their phones lit up with declines, cancellations, and lockouts. And that was just day one. I should have known something was off. The way they were acting the night before, all vague and distracted. My mom kept saying things like, "Make sure you set your alarm, Gloria," but wouldn't even look me in the eye. My sister was glued to her phone. Dad pretended he was half asleep on the couch. I just thought they were being their usual weird selves. I didn't think they'd actually go through with it. But there I was, standing at the gate, boarding group C being called, and somehow I didn't have a ticket anymore. The agent was polite enough. Said my reservation had been canceled that morning. I asked her who canceled it, and she just shrugged like I'd asked her where God lives. I pulled out my phone, opened the airline app, and sure enough, the seat was gone. No ticket. No record. At first I thought it had to be some kind of glitch. Maybe my card got flagged. Maybe the system messed up. But the longer I stood there, the more I felt it. That creeping heat in the back of my neck, the one that shows up when something isn't just wrong. It's intentional. I called my mom. Straight to voicemail. Tried my dad. Then my sister. Rang twice, then clicked. I heard the sound of an engine, some muffled talking, laughter, and my mom saying something about having time for a drink before takeoff. Then silence. I just stood there. In the middle of the terminal. My backpack weighing down one shoulder, phone still in my hand. I wasn't shocked. I was humiliated. That flight was supposed to be a short trip to Phoenix. Just 4 days. A little escape from the cold. Mom's idea. She said she wanted all of us together like the old days. I helped her book it. I offered to cover the Airbnb until her refund came through from work. She said I was being too generous. Generous. I've been covering half their bills since I moved back home. After I sold my condo, I told myself I'd stay with them a few months, save up, figure out my next move. Then the roof started leaking. My dad's car needed repairs. My sister said she couldn't afford her root canal, so I paid for that too. It added up. But they always said thank you. Always said they appreciated it. Apparently not enough to take me with them. 20 minutes later, a text came in. From my mom. "You're always the extra piece. Get used to it." I read it twice. Then again. That word, extra, like I was some leftover part they had to carry around. I didn't respond right away. I just sat there in the food court watching families walk by with their roller bags and neck pillows. Everyone looked so normal. And I was just sitting there, ditched by my own family, trying to process a text that sounded like it came from a middle school bully. Then I wrote back. "Don't worry. Something extra is waiting when you get home." I wasn't even sure what I meant when I sent it. But something inside me had already shifted. Because the truth is, I wasn't broke. I still had a solid chunk of money left from the sale of my condo. And while I'd been using it to play the responsible daughter, the reliable sister, the one who always fixes things, maybe it was time to stop. I took an Uber back to the house. Their house. The one I'd been helping hold together. By the time they landed in Phoenix and checked in at the Airbnb, I had already changed every password on every shared account. Streaming services, Amazon, even the shared Costco card. I moved the rest of my savings into a separate bank. I canceled a payment that was scheduled to hit their mortgage the next day. And I wasn't done. That was just day one. I wasn't angry. Not in the way they probably expected. I wasn't pacing or screaming or crying into a pillow. Felt steady, focused, like a switch had flipped and everything I'd been too polite to say, too scared to do, was suddenly just possible. Like I was giving myself permission to stop being the one who holds everything together. Back at the house, it was quiet. Their dog, the one I fed, walked, and scheduled vet appointments for, barely lifted his head when I walked in. I gave him some food, packed up my room, and left everything that wasn't mine. Half the stuff in that room had been bought with my money anyway. I just wanted my laptop, passport, and the things I couldn't replace. I left the mattress I bought last fall because Mom said the guest bed was too old. Left the desk I assembled with my own hands because my sister said she needed one when she worked from home. They could keep it all. They'd need it more than I did. I took my stuff to the car, drove to a downtown rental I'd already scoped out that morning. It was expensive, sleek, barely furnished, and perfect. Once I was inside, I got to work. I started with the fun stuff. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. All under my account, all linked to their devices. I changed every password, logged out all users, and revoked every connection. Then I watched as one by one their devices got kicked off. It wasn't about the streaming. It was the access. The comfort they'd taken for granted. It was the first crack in the wall they never thought would fall. Then I went deeper. The shared grocery account? Gone. That debit card my mom used every other day? Closed. I shut down the utilities portal and removed my saved payments. Cancelled my auto transfer to their electric and gas bills. I even turned off their Spotify family plan. Then I pulled up the joint account I'd been quietly using to make extra payments on their mortgage. They weren't even fully aware of how much I'd been covering. I didn't make a scene about it when they fell behind, I just stepped in. Because that's what I always did. Balance, $87.32. I transferred it all to my own account, closed it out, and sent the closure confirmation to an old email they barely checked. Just for the paper trail. I shut off the backup savings I'd created for them 2 years ago. The one where I kept $5,000 tucked away in case of emergencies. That one took longer to unwind, but by the time I was done, there wasn't a dime left in any account that they had access to. And I didn't say a word. They landed in Phoenix around 4 p.m. By 6 the messages started. From my mom first. Missed calls, then a voicemail about some bank issue and something about the mortgage payment bouncing. Then my sister. She texted me asking if I changed the Hulu password, then 5 minutes later a question mark. Like that would guilt me into replying. Then my dad. Internet's down. Did we miss a payment? I could practically hear his confusion through the screen. So I didn't respond. I just watched the dots come and go as they tried again. And again. And again. They weren't panicked yet. Not really. They were still assuming this was all temporary. That I'd swoop in, fix it like always, apologize even, and life would go back to normal. They didn't know that by the time they landed I'd already rerouted my direct deposit, moved my remaining savings to a new bank, and filed a temporary mail forwarding request away from their address. Just in case. That night I got one last message from my mom. We're gonna need to talk when we get back. You've made your point. That was the moment I realized she still didn't get it. He thought this was a tantrum. She didn't understand it was an exit. And the funniest part? They thought they'd excluded me from a vacation. They had no idea they'd just freed me from the whole damn family. By the time they got home I was already gone. Physically, emotionally, financially. I'd moved into a one-bedroom apartment in a building with a doorman and underground parking. It was a ridiculous splurge, way more than I needed, but after everything I wanted a space that felt like it was actually mine. Not borrowed. Not shared. Not negotiated. Just mine. The house I left behind. It was still standing. But it wasn't the same one they'd left for Phoenix. The internet was cut. The Netflix account logged them out mid-episode. Their Prime membership, cancelled. Every password they'd mooched off me for years. Spotify, HBO, even the digital thermostat, locked. Groceries were low because I'd stopped filling the fridge 2 weeks before the trip. I wanted to see how long it would take for them to notice. They didn't. The first texts were snappy. Where's the Wi-Fi login? Did you change Hulu again? Then came the phone calls. When my mom couldn't reach me on her number, she tried calling from her work line. I picked up just out of curiosity. She launched into it without a second of hesitation. The bank account wasn't working. Her grocery card kept getting declined. The mortgage site showed a missed payment. The internet wasn't connecting. I listened in silence. Then she said, "Gloria, you've made your point. Can you please just fix it?" That's when I realized she still didn't get it. I told her I wasn't making a point. I was done. That was it. No drama, no fight, just a line drawn in the sand. He said I was overreacting. Said families argue and do stupid things sometimes. Said it wasn't personal. Then why was I the only one left behind? She didn't answer. I hung up. Over the next few days their tone shifted fast. Suddenly I was needed. My sister texted about how things just feel off without you. My dad said he missed our morning coffee runs, the ones he used to sleep through. My mom sent 3 different messages about wanting to reconnect. I could have laughed. A week earlier they left me stranded in an airport with a text that said I was the extra piece. Now I was apparently the missing puzzle. But it wasn't just the fake affection that threw me. It was what I found next. I was going through an old email account. The one I used years ago when my mom needed help applying for a personal loan. She said she needed someone to look it over, maybe co-sign, just for the paperwork to process faster. It was during a hectic month when my sister was between jobs, my dad was in and out of physical therapy, and they were behind on literally everything. I remember signing something in the kitchen, not really reading it because I was exhausted and they were desperate. I didn't think twice. Buried in my spam folder, I found an email from a collections agency. The subject line hit like a punch. Past due, $12,000 personal loan, cosigner notification. I opened it. Read it again. Then called the number listed just to confirm it was real. It was. I was on the hook. They hadn't paid in almost 4 months. And now the agency was coming after me. I didn't even yell. I just sat there holding my phone, replaying all the times they told me I was overstepping. All the moments they treated me like some overly attached extra wheel they had to drag around. All while quietly tying me to their debt. That wasn't just carelessness. That was manipulation wrapped in family guilt. I didn't call them. I didn't ask questions. I I called a lawyer instead. I told him the situation and asked him flat out, how do I get out of this? He said it would be difficult. That co-signing is a legal contract. That the only way out was either refinancing, which they couldn't qualify for, or paying it off myself and eating the loss. Unless I made it worth their while. That's when the shift really began. I wasn't just walking away now. I was coming back on my own terms. No more handouts. No more covering bills out of guilt. If they wanted something from me now, money, help, access, they were going to pay for it. And not just in dollars. They'd have to give me what I wanted. And I was just starting to figure out what that was. It started small. A message from my sister. Something about her car insurance being due, and how the payment didn't go through for some reason. She wasn't sure why, even though I'd been the one paying it for the past year. She asked if I could cover it just this month. Just this month. I ignored her. 3 hours later, she followed up with a voice note, suddenly soft-spoken, talking about how stressed she was, how everyone's been on edge lately, and how maybe we didn't handle the trip the right way. That was her version of an apology. I didn't reply, but I started thinking. They were finally off balance. Unsure. They weren't used to needing me in a way that cost them something. Before I gave without asking. They never had to earn it. That was about to change. I waited 2 days, then replied to my sister's message. Told her I'd help with her insurance, but only if she helped me in return. She was confused. What did I mean? I said I needed access to Mom's work laptop. Said it was for something personal. Didn't explain. She hesitated. I knew she would. But she also needed her car to get to work. And by the next morning she'd sent me the password. I paid the insurance. Then Mom texted me. She needed help with the electric bill. Said the utility company was threatening to shut it off. Said it must have been an auto payment mix-up. Could I fix it? I said sure. But in exchange I wanted her to draft a formal letter removing me as co-signer on any future loans. I knew it wouldn't do anything legally for the current one, but I wanted it anyway. A signal. A line. She said that felt extreme. I said no letter, no lights. She sent the letter by the end of the day. I paid the bill. Kept the letter. And that was how it started. They needed things. I made them earn them. Not just with favors. With honesty. With submission. I didn't need them to apologize. I wanted them to feel it. Every request became a transaction. My sister wanted to borrow my Costco card again. I made her send me a full breakdown of her monthly budget. My mom asked if I could cover a prescription she couldn't afford. I said I would, but she had to send me a copy of the original loan papers and highlight every part that mentioned my name. They thought they were pulling strings all these years, but they forgot I'd been watching them work the system. I'd learned from the best. By the end of the month I was no longer the one chasing them. They were waiting on me, responding to me, asking for me, and I made them wait. Then one night out of nowhere I got a call from my dad. I let it go to voicemail. He said they were struggling. That the house was falling apart. That my mom was having migraines again, that the stress was hurting the family. He asked if I could help with the mortgage this one time, just to give them a little breathing room. He ended the message with, "We're still your family." That has to mean something. I sat with that line for a long time. Then I opened my laptop. And I booked a flight. To Hawaii. 1 seat. First class. They'd left me at the airport without a word. Now I was leaving the entire continent. And this time I didn't tell anyone. The airport felt almost symbolic this time. Like walking back onto a stage I'd been shoved off of months earlier. But now I was the one holding the script. I wasn't rushing. I didn't feel like I needed to prove anything. I got to the gate early, ordered a mimosa and sat alone watching the people around me. Families moving in packs, couples clinging to each other, kids wobbling behind strollers. I used to envy that. That ease. That sense of being someone's person. Now I didn't feel envy. I felt distance. Like I was watching a world I no longer lived in. When they called first class I didn't even flinch. I just stood up, walked past the crowd and settled into a seat that didn't need to be shared or justified. Hawaii wasn't an escape. It was proof. Proof that I could go, do, exist, without needing to carry anyone with me. Without being responsible for anyone else's comfort. The resort was perched high above the water. You could hear the ocean crashing all night, the kind of sound that fills your head so completely it quiets everything else. I left my phone on silent. I slept without alarms. I didn't check my email once. On the second night, I sat alone at a restaurant lit by torches and soft music. A couple next to me asked if I was waiting for someone. I said no. They looked surprised, like that answer didn't quite compute. But I wasn't waiting. Not anymore. The feeling of control, of finally choosing myself, was addictive. I spent money on stupid things. Got a massage I didn't need. Bought a dress I'd never wear back home. Ate dessert every night. Woke up late and walked the beach barefoot. But on the fourth night, something I didn't expect happened. I had just gotten back to my room after a long swim. The sun was setting, that wild deep orange that almost doesn't look real, and I opened my phone just out of habit. There was a message from my sister. "Can you please help with Mom's meds? He's really sick. We're kinda stuck." No guilt tripping. No manipulation. Just a straight sentence. Short, quiet. It hit harder than I thought it would. Not because I felt bad, but because for a second I felt absolutely nothing. And that scared me. There had been a time, years really, when a message like that would have launched me into action. I would have driven to the pharmacy, covered the bill, maybe even sat in the waiting room just to make sure she got the dosage right. Now I read it, locked my screen, and stared at the ocean. I didn't respond. Not out of spite. Not even because I was angry anymore. But because I finally understood that they had never once considered what it cost to keep me. Only what it cost to lose me. I wasn't interested in being their emergency button anymore. I had no plan to fix things. No fantasy of being welcomed back with open arms. No appetite for the kind of hollow peace that only lasted until the next crisis. They'd made their move. They made it at gate 17 when they walked away and didn't look back. And now I had made mine. I spent my last night on the balcony, wrapped in a hotel robe, sipping something cold, listening to the ocean. I thought about everything I'd done. Everything I didn't do. The silence I left behind. For the first time in my life, I wasn't a caretaker. Or a safety net. Or the extra piece they could afford to leave behind. I was just me. And it was more than enough.